Johnny's one, so into Fitba, so easy going. There was hours got lumbered, washing the strips after the fives in Meadowbank, and never ever complained. I was shiting it that I wouldn't get a shot here. Fuck's sake, Johnny, listen to yourself. Get a fucking grip. We've got the fucking arrays here. I've pulled some notes out of my pocket. Whether it was through guilt or the prospect of cash, the old Johnny Swan briefly reappeared. Didn't get all serious on us. I'm only fucking joking, boys. You think that the White Swan would hold out on us muckers? On you score, my men. You're wise men. Hygiene's important, he stated wistfully. Can we coax it? He's got AIDS now. Ken up asked. There was always rumours about who was HIV and who wasn't. I usually just ignored them. Thing is, a few people had been saying that about wee Coxie. Too right. He's not got the full AIDS like, but he's tested positive. Still, as I says to him, it isn't the end of the world, Coxie. You can learn to live with the virus. Tons of guns do it without any hassle at all. Could be fucking years before you get sick of doubting. Any cunt without the virus could get run out of them all. That's the way you have to look at it. Can't just cancel the gig. The show must go on. It's easy to be philosophical when some other cunts get shite for blood. Anyway, Johnny even helped Sick Boy to cook up and shoot home. Just as Sick Boy was about to scream, he spiked the vein, drew some blood back into the barrel, and fired the life-giving and life-taking elixir home. Sick Boy hugged Swanee tightly, then eased off, keeping his arms around him. They were relaxed, like lovers in post-coital embrace. It was now Sick Boy's turn to serenade Johnny. Swanee, how I love you, my dear old Swanee. The adversaries a few minutes ago were now soulmates. I went to take a shot. It took us ages to find a good vein. My boys don't live as close to the surface as most people's. When it came, I savoured the hit. Ali was right. Take your best orgasm, multiply the feeling by 20, and you're still fucking miles off the base. My dry, cracking bones are soothed and liquefied by my beautiful heroine's tender caresses. The earth moved, and is still moving. Alison is telling us that I should go and see Kelly, who's apparently been really depressed since she had the abortion. Although her tone's not really judgmental, she talks as if I had something to do with Kelly's pregnancy and its subsequent termination. How should I go and see her? It's got nothing to do with me, I says defensively. You're our friend, you know. I'm tempted to quote Johnny and say that we're all acquaintances now. It sounds good in my head. We're all acquaintances now. It seems to go beyond our personal junk circumstances. A brilliant metaphor for all times. I resist the temptation. Instead, I content myself with making the point that we were all Kelly's friends and questioning why I should be singled out for visiting duties. Fuck's sake, Mark. You ken she's really into you. Kelly? I wait to fuck, I say, surprised, intrigued, and Melon a wee bit embarrassed. If this is true, I'm a blind and stupid arsehole. Of course she is. She's dealt with tons of times. She's always on about you. It's Mark this, Mark that. Hardly anybody calls us Mark. It's usually Rents, or worse, the Rent boy. these activities is beyond me. I score for some gear for Johnny. Pure as the driven snow, this shit, he tells us. That meant that I wasn't cut too much with anything too toxic. It was soon time for us to go. Johnny was gabbing a load of shit into my ear, things I didn't want to listen to. Problems about who drugged off who, tales of scheme vigilantes making every cunt's life a misery with their anti-drug hysteria. He was also babbling on about his own life in a maudlin sort of way, and spouting fantasies about how he was going to get himself straightened out and take off to Thailand with a woman knew how to treat the catch, and where he could live like a king if he had a white skin and a few crisp tenors in your pocket. He actually says things a lot worse than that, a lot more cynical and exploitative. I tell myself, that's the evil spirit talking again, not the white swan. Or was it? Who knows? Who the fuck cares? Alison and Sick Boy had been exchanging terse sentences, sounding like they were arranging another skag deal. Then they got up and trooped out of the room together. They looked bored and passionless, but when they didn't come back, I knew that they'd be shagging in the bedroom. It seemed, for women, the fucking was just something that he did with Sick Boy, like talking or drinking tea with other partners. Raimi was drawn with crayons on the wall. He was in a world of his own, and the arrangement was suited himself and every other cunt. I thought about what Alison had said. Kelly had just had the abortion last week. If I went and saw her, I'd be too squeamish to fuck her, assuming that she'd want us to. Surely though, there would still be something there. Gunge, bits of the thing, or even a sort of rawness. I was probably being fucking daft. Alison was right. I didn't really know much about women. I didn't really know much about anything. Kelly stays at the Inch, which is difficult to get to by bus, and I'm new to skin for a taxi. Maybe you can get to the Inch by bus for here, but I didn't care which one goes. The truth of the matter is, I'm a bit too scaggy bod to fuck, and a bit too fucked to just talk. A number 10 comes and I jump on it back to Leith and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Throughout the journey, I gleefully anticipate the stomping he's going to key that smart cunt. Young Dilemma's number 63. I'm just letting it wash all over me, or wash through me. Clean me out for the inside. This internal sea. The problem is that this beautiful ocean carries with it lots of poisonous flotsam and jetsam. That poison is diluted by the sea, but once the ocean rolls out, it leaves its shite behind inside my body. It takes as well as gives. It washes away my endorphins, my pain resistance centers. They take a long time to come back. The wallpaper is horrific in this shite pity room. It terrorises me. Some coffin dodger must have put it up years ago. Appropriate, because that's what I am, a coffin dodger, and my reflexes are not getting any better. But it's all here, all within my sweaty grasp. Syringe, needle, spoon, candle, lighter, packet of powder. It's all okay, it's all beautiful, but I feel that this internal sea is going to subside soon, leaving this poisonous shite washed up, stranded in my body. I start to cook up another shot. As I shakily hold the spoon over the candle, waiting for the junk to dissolve. I think, more short-term sea, more long-term poison. This thought though is nowhere near sufficient to stop us for doing what I have today. The first day of the Edinburgh Festival. 3rd bottles of milk and magnesia, 1 bottle of paracetamol, 1 packet of Rinstead mouthwash pastels, 1 bottle of multivits, 5 litres of mineral water, 12 Lucozade isotonic drinks and some magazines, softball, Viz, Scottish Football Today, The Bundle, etc. The most important item has already been procured from a visit to the parental home. My ma's bottle of Valium, removed from her bathroom cabinet. I don't feel bad about this. She never uses them now, and if she needs them, her age and gender dictate that her Raj GP will prescribe them like jelly tots. I lovingly tick off all the items on my list. It's going to be a hard week. My room is bare and uncarpeted. There's a mattress in the middle of the floor with a sleeping bag on it, an electric bar file, and a black and white telly on a small wooden shelf. I've got 3 brown plastic buckets, half filled with a mixture of disinfectant and water for my shite, puke and pish. I line up my tins of soup, juice and my medicines within easy reach of my makeshift bed. I took my last shot in order to get us through the horrors of the shopping list. My final score will be used to help us sleep and ease us off the skag. I'll try to take it in small, measured doses. I need some quickly. The great decline is setting in. It starts, as it generally does, with a slight nausea in the pit of my stomach and an irrational panic attack. As soon as I become aware of the sickness gripping me, it effortlessly moves from the uncomfortable to the unbearable. A toothache starts to spread from my teeth into my jaws and my eye sockets, and all through my bones in a miserable, implacable, debilitating throb. The old sweats arrive on cue, and let's not forget the shivers, covering my back like a thin layer of autumn frost on a car roof. It's time for action. No way can I crash you in the face of music yet. I need the old slow burn, a soft come down input. The only thing I can move for is smack. 1 wee dig to unravel those twisted limbs and send us off to sleep. Then I say goodbye to it. Swanee's vanished, Seagull's in the nick, that leaves Remy. I go to bell the cunt for the payphone in the hall. I'm aware that as I dial, someone has brushed past us. I wince with the fleeting contact, but I've no desire to look and see who it is. Hopefully I'll not be here long enough to need to check out any of my new flatmates. The fuckers don't exist for us. Nae cunt does, only Remy. The money goes down. A lassie's voice. Hello, she sniffs. Has she got a summer cold, or is it the skag? It's Remy there. It's Mark here. Remy has evidently mentioned us, because although I didn't ken her, she sure as fuck kens me. Her voice chills over. Remy's away, she says. London. London? Fuck, when's he due back? Dinna ken. He didn't leave in for us, did he? Chance would be a fine thing. The cunt. No. I shakily put the phone down. 2 choices. 1, tough it out back in the room. 2, phone that cunt Forrester and go to Muirhouse, get fucked about and ripped off with some crap gear. Nae contest. In 20 minutes it was Muirhouse pal to the driver on the 32 bus and quiveringly sticking my 45 pence into the box. Any port in a storm and it's raging in here behind my face. An old book gazes evil eye as I pass her on the way down the bus. No doubt I'm fucking bogging and look a real mess. It doesn't bother us. Nothing exists in my life except myself and Michael Forrester and the sickening distance between us, a distance being steadily reduced by this bus. I sit on the back seat downstairs. The bus is nearly empty. A lassie sits across face, listening to her Sony Walkman. Is she good looking? Who fucking cares? Even though it's supposed to be a personal stereo, I can hear it quite clearly. It's playing a Bowie number. Golden Years. Don't let me hear you say life's taking you nowhere. Angel, look at those skies. Lay's begun, nights are warm and the days are young. I've got every album Bowie ever made, the fucking lot. Tons of fucking bootlegs and all. I didn't give a fuck about him or his music. I only care about Mike Forrester, an ugly, talentless cunt who's made no albums, 0 singles, but Mikey Baby is the man of the moment. As Sick Boy once said, doubtlessly paraphrasing from some other fucker, nothing exists outside the moment. I think some Raj or a chocolate advert said it first, but I can't even endorse these sentiments as they are a best peripheral to the moment. The moment is me, Sick, and Mikey, Healer. Some old cunt, they're always on the buses at this time, is farting and shouting at the driver, firing a volley of irrelevant questions about bus numbers, routes and times. Get the fuck on or fuck off and die, you fusty old cunt. I almost choked in silent rage at our selfish pettiness and the bus driver's pathetic indulgence of the cunt. People talk about youngsters and vandalism, but what about the psychic vandalism caused by these old bastards? When she finally gets on, the old fucker still has the cheek to have a gob on her like a cat's arse. She sits directly in front of us. My eyes burrow into the back of her head. I'm willing her to have a brain hemorrhage or a massive cardiac arrest. No, I stop to think, if that happened, it would only hold us back even more. Hers must be a slow, suffering death, to pay her back for my fucking suffering. If she dies quickly, it will keep people the chance to fuss. They'll always take the opportunity. Cancer cells will do nicely. I will a core of bad cells to develop and multiply in her body. I can feel it happening, but it's my body is happening too. I'm too tired to continue. I've lost all weight for the old doll. I only feel total apathy. She's now outside the moment. My heat's gone down. It jerks up so suddenly and violently, I feel it's going to fly off my shoulders onto the lap of the test elbow in front of us. I hold it firmly in both hands, elbows on my knees. Now I'm going to miss my stop. No. I surge energy and I get off at Pennywell Road, opposite the shopping centre. I cross over the dual carriageway and walk through the centre. I pass the steel shuttered units which have never been lit and cross over the car park where cars have never parked, never since it was built over 20 years ago. Forrester's masonette flat is in a block bigger than most in Muirhouse. Most are 2 stories high, but his is 5 and therefore has a lift, which doesn't work. To conserve energy, I slide along the wall on my journey up the stairs. In addition to cramps, aches, sweats, and an almost complete disintegration of my central nervous system, my guts are now starting to go. I feel a queasy shifting taking place, an ominous thaw in my long period of constipation. I tried to pull myself together at Forrester's door, but he'll know that I'm suffering. An ex-skag merchant always knows when someone is sick. I just don't want the bastard knowing how desperate I feel. While I would put up with any crap, any abuse for Forrester to get what I need, I don't see the sense in advertising it to him any more than I can help. Forrester can obviously see the reflection of my ginger hair through the wild and dimpled glass door. He takes an age to answer. The cunt has started fucking us about before I even set foot in his house. He doesn't greet us with any warmth in his voice. Alright, Rents, he says. No bad, Mike. He calls us Rents instead of Mark. I call him Mike instead of Forry. He's calling the shots, alright. It's trying to ingratiate myself to this cunt the best policy. It's probably the only one at the moment. Morning, he tells us shrugs and adds you if I follow him. I sit on the couch, beside but a bit away for a gross bitch with a broken leg. Her plastered limb is propped up on the coffee table and there's a repulsive swell of white flesh between the dirty plaster and her peach coloured shorts. Her tits sit on top of an oversized Guinness pot and her brown vesty top struggles to constrain her white flab. Her greasy peroxide locks have an inch of insipid grey brown at their roots. She makes no attempt to acknowledge my presence, but lets out a horrendous and embarrassing donkey-like laugh at some inane remark Forrester makes, which I don't catch, probably concerning my appearance. Forrester sits opposite me in a walnut armchair, beefy-faced but thin-bodied, almost bald at 25. His hair laws over he's got the virus. Doubt it somehow. They say only the good die young. Normally I would make a bitchy comment, but at this moment in time I would rather slag my granny about her colostomy bag. Mikey is, after all, my man. And the other chair next to Mikey is an evil looking bastard whose eyes are on the bloated soul, or rather the unprofessionally rolled joint that she's smoking. She takes an extravagantly theatrical toke before passing it on to the evil looking gadge. I've got fuck all against dudes with dead insect eyes, set deep in keen rodent faces. They're not all bad. It's this boy's clears the game away, marking him out as wido extraordinaire. He's obviously been residing in one of the Windsor Group hotels, Sutton Bar, L, Perth, Peterhead, etc., and has apparently been there for some time. Dark blue flared trousers, black shoes, a mustard polo neck with blue bands at the collar and cuffs, and a green parka in this fucking weather, draped over the back of the chair. No intros are made, but that's the prerogative of my poor-faced icon, Mike Forrester. He's the man in the chair, and he certainly knows it. The bastard launches into this spiel, talking incessantly like a parent trying to stay up as late as possible. Mr. Fashion, Johnny Sutton, I'll call the cunt, says nothing, but smiles enigmatically, and occasionally rolls his eyes in mock ecstasy. If you ever saw a predator's face, it was Sutton's. The fat sow, God, she is grotesque, he yaws, and I forsooth the odd sycophantic chuckle at times occasions to be roughly appropriate. After listening to this shite for a while, my pain and nausea force me to intervene. My non-verbal signals are contemptuously ignored, so I steam in. Sorry to interrupt you there, mate, but I need to be pitting my skate zone. You got the gear there? The reaction's over the top, even by the standards of the crappy game Forrester is playing. You shut your fucking mouth, fucking Raj. I'll fucking tell you when to speak, just shut your fucking arse. You didn't like the company, you can get to fuck. End of fucking story. No offence, mate. It's odd tame capitulation on my part. After all, this man is a god to me. I'd walk on my hands and knees through broken glass for 1,000 miles to use a cunt shite as toothpaste, and we both know it. I am but a pawn in a game called The Marketing of Michael Forrester as a hard man. To all those who know him, it's a game based on ridiculously flawed concepts. Furthermore, it is obviously all being played for Johnny Sutton's benefit. But what the fuck is Mike's gig, and I asked to be dealt a shite hand when I dialed his number. I take some more crass humiliation for what seems like an eternity. I get through no bother though. I love nothing, except junk. I hate nothing, except forces that prevent me getting any. And I fear nothing, except not scoring. I also know that a shiting gun like Forrester would never put us through all this bullshit if he intended holding out on me. It gives us some satisfaction remembering why he hates us. Mike was once infatuated with a woman who despised him, a woman I subsequently shagged. It hadn't meant a great deal to either myself or the woman concerned, but it certainly bugged the fuck out of Mike. Now most people would put this down to experience. You always want what you can't have, and the things that you didn't really get a toss about get handed to you on a plate. That's life, so why should sex be different for another part of it? I've had and brushed off such reverses in the past. Every cunt has. The problem is that this shite's intent on holding trivial grievances, like the fat, jerk, malignant squirrel that he is. But I still love him. I have to. He's the boy holding